founder is my father, who in Brussels established La Maison Halfin on the 10th of October 1945. He created it because he had a business mind and was in love with the product. It was a time when radio and television truly reigned supreme. In fact, electronics were almost limited to that. He was really very dynamic, courageous, passionate about the product and very enterprising. He became a distributor for General Electric. During the summer holidays, I would accompany him on his business trips. I think it was in 1964, he took me to Moscow. At that time, he was the first to import electronic tubes from Soviet Union. As technology evolved, transistors replaced tubes, and the market was unanimous in saying the tubes were finished. But he didn't want to hear any of that. In fact, to ward off bad luck, he published an advertisement in an electronics magazine in which he said, tubes are not dead. People will still be talking about them in 20 years. In the 80s, musicians, guitarists, audiophiles, and purists declared that the quality of a tube amplifier produces a lot more, indeed, authentic, warmer, and softer sound. As a result, the tube experienced a new life. What was very amusing was that, in fact, the tube amplifier became a symbol of refinement and a cult object. My father's closest collaborator was Michel Wyams. He worked with him for over 20 years. He was his right-hand man. They got along very well, so it was normal and natural that Michel continued the tubes business. With all the experience he had, he managed to find stocks of tubes known as New Original, and he succeeded in offering a truly wide range. I started out wanting to specialize in transistors. In the first part of my career, I had the opportunity to access inventories from large European manufacturers, and I managed to sell them in the USA. And that's when I understood the importance of this market. The semiconductor market is a market with very strong growth. There are often imbalances between supply and demand, and these imbalances don't occur at the same time everywhere. My job was about being informed and finding out what was happening worldwide and taking advantage of the market's inefficiency. Starting in 1981, computers really became our main weapon. We developed inventory management software. Of course, we were among the first internet users, which gave us a big advantage. In 1994, we created our first edition of e-commerce called Electors, which is still very active in offering our entire inventory of electronic tubes. I want to pay tribute here to Patrick Proth, who innovated tremendously in this area and in IT management. The fact of having clients and suppliers scattered around the world gave us valuable knowledge. Starting in the 2000s, China became a very important market and changed the overall picture. Subsequently, we became global suppliers of both semiconductors and all kinds of passive components. In 2022, we were bought out by the English company Cyclops Electronics. They have an IT infrastructure that is perfect. The values of Cyclops and Halfin are practically the same. So it was something that happened very naturally. And this is the third generation that took over control of the company. I think Halfin is, in a way, the story of perseverance. We went through an entire story without really realizing how much things were changing. And each day led us to use increasingly advanced software tools. We are truly witnesses to the transition to full digitalization.